In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create or design a thumbnail like this with Photopea or Photoshop. Well, Photopea is an alternative to Photoshop with pretty much the same tools and options. But a good point about Photopea is that you don't have to pay anything and it's online, it's web-based, so you don't have to install it. However, if you are a professional designer, you may want to use Photoshop, but you have to pay some money for Photoshop to use it, but you can easily use both of these softwares. You don't have to stick to Photopea or Photoshop. But I'm going to use Photopea because it's really easy to use and it's web-based and it's free of charge. I'm going to design this thumbnail step by step with really easy steps. So if you're a beginner or if you're not a designer, you can easily do all these things. Also, if you want to skip all these steps and just want to use it immediately for your YouTube video, you can also get the thumbnail from the link in the description, and then you can simply replace your face with the current face in this thumbnail. So if you want to use the PSD file, at the end of the video I'll explain how you can use that PSD file to just replace the current face with your face. But if you want to do the design yourself step by step, let's start. Let's create a new YouTube thumbnail project. It should be YouTube thumbnail, create, and the very first thing we need here is the background. So you can use pretty much any image here, it doesn't matter. So I just search AI generated images and we search it in Google. So let's go with this one or this one, doesn't matter at all. I can just copy this image, paste it here. So to copy that, you can simply right click, copy image, and then here you can go to edit and then paste it. Or you can simply use Command C and Command V in Mac or Control C and Control V in Windows. So here now we have this image. We need to change the hue and saturation. So I want to decrease the saturation like this, and then also decrease lightness to make it dark like this. That's fine. Now choose brush tool here and then increase the size, and you need to decrease hardness to 0 like this. And now select the color you want to have for the left side of the image. I want to go with red or maybe a little bit lighter, maybe pink. Now try to colorize the left side like this and then select another color. I'm gonna go with blue for the right side and then colorize it like this. Now change the size of the tool, make it a little bit smaller like this, and then select another color. It should be lighter, so lighter pink like this, and then try to click a couple of times like this. So it should be clicking, not dragging. It should be just clicking. Let's do the same thing for the right side. Should be lighter. Click a couple of times. Can be even lighter than this. Okay, now select white for the brush and then try to click a couple of times again in the middle of the image like this. Okay, already looks nice. Now what we need to do, just simply go to filters, filter, we want to use Gaussian blur, and then increase the radius a little bit to look like this. It looks good, I think. Now you can resize the image a little bit to fit it the screen. Move it a little bit to the right side. Okay. Now it's time to actually load our image. You need to take a photo of yourself. So for instance, I have a photo here. Here I have a couple of photos of myself. For instance, this one. I just need to drag and drop it into Photopea to load it. So here the very first thing, we need to remove the background. There are two ways to do that. The very first thing is just using Photopea to do that. You need to select magnetic selection tool, and then you need to select the edges step by step, or you can actually use some online tools. It's much easier to use that. For instance, we have remove, let's say remove background. The very first website is remove.bg. It's free of charge for a couple of images, so you can simply just drag and drop your image here, and then in a few seconds it's gonna give you your image without background. So you can simply just download it, and then you can use it in your project. But here for this tutorial I'm gonna use another image. I've already removed the background from that image, so I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use this image. So I just need to select R and copy and then paste it over here. Now I need to resize the image to fit it. Okay, I think this size is okay. Now the next step is to add this glowing effect to the image. First I'm going to add a mask to this layer, to the background. With this icon here, you can add a mask here, and then what I'm gonna do, select gradient tool, and then you need to, for the left side you can choose white, and for the right black. It should be black. The default should be fine. And now from left to right we just draw a line like this, and then right click on the face layer and then choose clipping mask, and now we will see something like this. So I'm gonna change it to be, so we want to cover the half of the face, pretty much the left side, because we want to work on the left side here. So what I can do, right click on this and blending option, and then add inner glow. We just want to test it, then we will back to this to make sure that it looks good. For now we want to stick to this, and then again I choose this mask layer and then try to add the gradient again to make sure that it covers. Okay, now select both of these layers, hold on Control or Command, and then right click and duplicate layer. Select the mask layer for the second layer here. Then we want to do the same thing but in reverse, so for the right side. So what I need to do, first I need to delete this mask layer. So select it and hit delete, and select the layer again, and then click on the mask icon over here. So now we can do the same thing from right to left. So to make it more obvious, let's hide the other two layers and then try to create a gradient mask like this. We need to try it a couple of times to make sure that it covers the left side of the image. It should be fine, I think. Yeah. Now we can make the other two layers visible again. So as you can see, it didn't cover the middle side. So let's select the first layer and then try to cover this like this. Okay. Now we need another layer for the top because we don't want to have this lighting over here. So we can just copy these two and again delete this mask and then add another layer. Now try to create a gradient mask from top to bottom. Let's hide the other layers to make sure that it works fine from top to bottom. Get back to this layer, blending option. Now work on the glow effect here. I can choose pink or any color you want. So I can go with pink simply. Try to play with these numbers a little bit to achieve the right number. It's good enough, I think. Now the next option we want to have is inner shadow. So for inner shadow, uncheck use global angle and then use white color for the shadow, and then choose luminosity for the blend mode. And now we have a nice white glow over here. This is pretty much what we want. You can work on this It takes time to achieve the right amount, but that's fine for now. Click OK. Simply we can copy the layer style, copy and paste it for the other layer here as well. So paste it here. Now let's edit it again, blending option. So you just need to right click on this layer, blending options, and then change the color for this side. I want to make it blue, and it should be fine. You can make it a bit more intensive here. Okay. Now for the inner shadow, you need to change the angle in the opposite direction to have the nice white glowing effect here. Okay. Now for the last layer, for the top, we just want to deactivate the options. We don't want to have any effect here. So just click OK. Now we have pretty much a nice glowing effect here. Some designers try to use brush to actually add some details to the site, but it's going to take time and it's not really easy to do it with only mouse. You need some kind of pens to do that. So it's easier to do it with these options, and it's much easier, and the result is really good. Now let's work a little bit on the image itself, so we can add some extra layers to modify the colors. So select this layer here and just click on this icon over here, and then create bright contrast layer top of this, and then we can decrease the brightness a little bit and then increase the contrast. Okay, it's good. We can have the same layer over here, so just copy that with Ctrl C or Command C, and then Ctrl V or Command V here. Double click on this icon and then try to modify it as well. We want to have brighter side over here, so we can change it. Now we need to right click on this layer and then click on clipping mask. Do the same thing for the other layer. Now we have this effect for the right side and the other one for the left side. It already looks good, I believe. Now the next step is adding some bubble effect over here, or particle effect. So you just need to search for some images like particles, PNG transparent. You can find some images here. For instance, this image here is good enough for us. You can go with any of these. You can simply go to the website and download it from here. It's free pick, is free of charge. You can use them. Or you can simply just right click and copy the image and then paste it on top of the background image for the first layer. So I'm just going to paste it over here and then right click on that and then add clip mask, make it big to fit it the screen. So now you need to select screen for the blend mode. Now we have a really nice bubble or particle effect over here. We need to move the image a little bit to have the better part. It looks good, I think. Now what we want to do, select this layer and then go to image adjustment, hue and saturation, decrease the saturation, make it -100, should be fine. Now simply just copy the layer. You can simply right click on this and click on duplicate layer, move it to the second layer here, move the layer for the right side. Try to place it wherever you think it's better. So I think it's good here. The next step is working on the text. Simply we can use text tool and write something just to make sure we have a text. Try to increase the text. The font I'm using here is Commando. You should have the font by default, but if you don't have it, you can simply just download it on the internet. So let's say best, for instance. You can duplicate this. Best money. Another duplication. Best money tips. Try to resize the layers to fit it in a rectangular like this. Now you can edit the style however you want. Some people think that this is good enough, this white color is good enough, but let's work a little bit more on this. You can select one of these text layers and then right click on that, go to blending options, and then try to work on the color overlay and gradient overlay. So first color overlay should be, I want to go with yellow here. Let's add some gradient overlay. The default is K, so I want to decrease the color overlay opacity a little bit, so we have nice gradient over here. And then we can also add some satin effect, decrease the opacity. We don't want it that much. 3 should be fine, or we can just ignore it, but I like to use it a little bit. And then you can change the stance and size. Okay, maybe 3 is better. Now let's add some inner shadow. Blend mode should be luminosity and the color should be white. And now increase the opacity. The angle should be like this, -40, like that. Increase distance a little bit. I think it looks good. Also, let's add some shadow here, drop shadow. So here, these options. Okay. Now you can simply just copy this effect and paste it for tips layer as well. Also, you can do the same for money layer, but I want to change the options for money layer to be white, like this. Also, I want to get rid of satin effect, and that should be fine. Okay. This good. Now the final part is adding these icons, which is really easy. You can use any icon you want. For instance, here I want to use let's say money icon over here. Let's go with some free icons like this. Just copy that, paste it over here, decrease the size, rotate it a little bit, and we want to give it a perspective view, so you need to hold Command or Control and then move the corner like this. Okay, now what you can do is just add some motion blur. Select the layer, filter, blur, motion blur, and increase the distance. Make it a little bit bigger. That way you can add other icons as well here. So simply I can add YouTube icon, transparent, just copy image, paste it here, add some motion blur here, like this. You can even resize it like that. You can copy that or duplicate it and move it to the corners. Just need to change the position to be behind the text. Also, you can add some other icons here, for instance, or here, but the process is pretty much the same. So I'm not going to do that because it's going to make the video longer than this. So that was pretty much this. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can simply just get the PSD file from the description. Also, for the rest of the video, I'm going to explain how you can use this PSD file simply without doing all these steps. You just need to replace the current face with your face. So I'm going to explain that, how you can do it, and also how you can actually change the colors a little bit. So if you want to get that PSD file, you can watch the rest of the video. Now that you downloaded the PSD file, you can just simply drag and drop it into Photopea. So here you have access to all the layers. So the important thing here is replacing your image with this face image here. So let's do it. Just take a good and clean picture of yourself. Then what you need to do, you need to remove the background. So you have two options to remove the background. Let me demonstrate it to you. Let's say this is the image you've taken from yourself. So the first option is using magnetic selection tool in Photopea or Photoshop. So you need to select edges step by step. It's going to take time, but you need to do it really carefully. And then finally, I'm going to just do it really fast. So you can just simply copy and paste it with Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V, and now you have a transparent image with the background removed from the image. Or you can actually use tools like remove.bg, which is online and free of charge. So you can simply just drag and drop your image, and in a few seconds it's gonna give you the image without the background. and you can download it and drag and drop it into Photopea. I'm gonna just use another image on the internet, so face man PNG. Let's go with one of these, maybe this one. I can copy this image and just paste it here. To remove the background because it's white, simply I can use magic wand selection tool, select the white area and then just delete it. So now I have a nice face image here. Try to make it the same size as the current face image and then move it on top of the current face image here we have. And then right click on that and then choose clip masking. Okay, now try to hide the other face image. So here we have these. Now you need to right click on the main original face layer and then copy the layer style and then paste it to our new face like this. Now we have the nice lighting effect for our image as well. Now we just need to duplicate this layer again and move it to the other layer, hide the right side as well. Try to copy the style for the right image, then paste it over here. And now you can do the same thing for the top, duplicated layer and then move it to here, hide the original image, copy and paste layer style. Okay, now simply we have our glowing effect over this image here. If you think it's not well fitted, you simply can just right click on the layer, select blending option and try to play with this inner glow and inner shadow a little bit. So here for instance inner glow, I can change the size to make it look better. But I think it's good enough for this image. So that's pretty much all you need to do. Also, you can change the icons over here. Let me do it fast again. You can just search for an icon, for instance, Photoshop logo, copy, paste it here, change the size, rotate it a little bit. You can give it a perspective view by holding Control or Command button and then move the corner like this. Now it's time to add some motion, blur, increase distance like this. You can do the same thing for other icons as well, but that was pretty much the idea. Also, you can change the color of the text. You can just right click and go to blending options and then go to color overlay, and here you can change the color of the text. You can choose pink or green, whatever you want. So I'm gonna go with pink for instance here. Also, you can change the color of the lights as well. Right click on the right and left sides, select blending options, and then just try to change the color of the glowing effect. So I want to turn it to green. That way you can just simply change the colors. Okay, that was it.